Hello everyone, this is Anne from Odulcina Scrap. I am ready today to start decorating those pages from the Victorian Era junk journal. And well, in the last video, I wanted to fussy cut all those that comes with the kit, but I have a quick cut machine and I'm being lazy. So I did a kit for my quick cut machine, and it's now available. You can buy them as PNG if you have a quick cut machine or a Silhouette or any of the other cutting machines, and you can do them. You can of course do them manually, and you can buy them done for you as well. I know. Okay, so I did them with my quick cut machine because I'm just too lazy, and I'm gonna use them to decorate some pages. It's really not that I want to sell you stuff. It's really because I get tons of requests otherwise, and if I do them for me, might as well make them available for all of you. Some of you doesn't have a printer, some of you doesn't have a quick cut machine. Some of you have a hard time to cut because it is like that, getting older or not being able to fussy cut quickly and easily, whatever the reason is. So based on your needs, you have everything available. You can do the fussy cut by scissors. You can buy the fussy cut. Now, what about I add some of those boots? See, when I do some, and in the bundles that I do for you, you have both sides, because sometimes you want to put them this side of the pages and sometimes this side, and we don't necessarily want to put them this way because that would be hanging out too much and be fragile. So in this case, I would prefer to put it this way, but if it's on this page, I would prefer it this way. So you have both. And with the quick cut software, if you purchase just the PNG, you can just flip them and cut them the way you want. So I think I'm gonna place them here. They could be here too. Well, I don't know, but I think they should go with a fabric ruffle. I've done many. I don't have that much more, but what I do, I have a whole tutorial if you've never done some. I take a piece of paper and I sew them in advance, different length, as you can see. And then when I'm ready, I can just go through my stash and find one that I love. So in this case, I think I love this one. But I had some with just lace, and I think I would prefer just lace. So I'm gonna do more and come back. So I just did this one with some laces, and I think it's gonna be more feminine and delicate, a little bit less contrasting, and keeping the focus on the little boots. Don't you agree? Okay, so what I love about that is that I can now glue it with just regular glue, like the art glitter glue. You don't need too much. And that's it. Because really sewing directly on a page, what I don't like is the tension of the thread here doesn't look perfect most all the time for me. And I don't love to see the thread on this side. But I love to see the sewing. So by sewing it on a piece of paper, then it allows me to glue it, and I didn't have to stitch it on my paper before building my book. So for me, there's a lot of good advantages of doing that. So this is definitively how I do it since a while now. I do my fabric ruffle in advance like this. And then I can maybe glue this here. And when I want to glue some paper and fabric, I always go with the fabric tack. Why the fabric tack? I think it's because, well, it's holding well on fabric and on paper. But the fact that it's kind of a gel, it's a little bit more, I would not say bulky, but when I'll glue it, I can put a little bit more glue than usual. And when I'll flatten it, the glue will go kind of everywhere in the bulkiness or in between the lace without creating any bulkiness like it would with the hot glue, let's say. And I can rub any excess that goes on the side. But you can see I can flatten, and I'm sure that it goes through the layers of the lace or through the lace. But here on the paper, there's no bulkiness, and it's gonna hold very well, and it dries fast enough that I don't need to flatten and hold it for too long. Like right now, it's ready, and that was in real time. So look at that. I'm gonna zoom and show you a better view. Isn't it cute? So that would be this page here, ready to get either some journaling or add more layers with paper clips and that kind of stuff. Let's keep going on. This page, I love the design that has been printed from the coffee because there was a stencil on it. It even printed some numbers. Look at that. And the flowers, they're just gorgeous. But really, like, I have a hard time myself to reproduce that kind of stuff. It's pure luck. So what I'm thinking is, look at this hat. Gorgeous. So I'm going to put the hat there, but I want to kind of do a little bit more. So I'm going to use some tracing paper that has been coffee stained, and I'm going to create kind of a little cluster. I'm just tearing sides just so it's a little bit bigger. Okay, I'm going to ink my sides, and then I'm going to add maybe layers or fancy yarns. Something a little bit more, not just the hat and this. So I'm going to ink the hat too. I just always ink a little bit because, see, I print them on light cardboard and you see the white there. So when you do just a little bit of inking, it kind of become more old. No white anymore. Nothing against the white, it depends the style. All right. So I can maybe have this tracing paper, getting a little bit out of the page like that. I can put the hat like that, and then I would just need, it could be as simple as that, I agree. But I think I'm gonna add one more layer. Like, what about a little mesh? Take some scissors and I just cut, not straight, And I can cut more if needed. And then I can put the hat like that. And maybe a little bit of cheesecloth. So I have some cheesecloth here. That's a leftover, and I'm gonna use just a little part of it. Okay, this is a side, so I don't want that side. And when you cut with your scissors, you can just with your finger tear it a little bit to damage it and make it more fluffy. A bit like that. What about if I do something, oops. I just feel that this piece is a bit too big. Okay. That could be here too. Let's see if I prefer this. Oh yeah. Yeah, I prefer this. And then I can make it hang out a little bit like that. Then when you open the page, it looks like that. And if I close, I still have enough space. So I'm good to go. How do I glue that? I start with the hat, and I'm gonna glue the hat to the cheesecloth so they hold together. Then I can take the cheesecloth. Okay, the mesh wants to glue with it, so no problem. I'm gonna add some glue. Here. And then at least they cannot really move. So now I can take my piece closer to me, flip it upside down, and then glue well everything that needs to be glued together. Flatten everything. And now I just need to decide where do I want my hat to be. And maybe I can just create a top spot actually. So what I'm gonna do is I'll place it like that, and I'll just put a bit of glue like that, just a line. So it's kind of a top spot, or I can slide something behind. And if I want later on to glue it completely, I can still, but I could not do the opposite. So I prefer to just glue a little section there, create a top spot, and change my mind and glue it more later if I want. That's it. Look at that. So simple. And here we have a pocket, so maybe I can put a little lace here. Okay, so I gathered together a bunch of the Crafty Me Shop laces that I think might be suitable. And now let me try. So we have those flowers, and I can just glue it a little bit on the side so it hangs out a bit. I love it. Do I prefer a little contrast like this one? It's nice too, but I think I prefer the white, or a middle like tan color like this, or white. No, I prefer white. Okay, I have more choices in the white. This, maybe it's hanging out a little bit too much, and this one is tiny. Okay, you know what? By pure coincidence, my favorite is the first. I don't know if there's a psychological impact when you try the first one you try, if your brain kind of preferred that one in average more than the other choices. I wonder. Okay, so I'm gonna trim here, and I don't overthink more the process, and I'm gonna glue that. I'm gonna use the fabric tack again. So I'll just start with one big line here. I can add a little bit more there because it's gonna go over the tracing paper of the cluster from the previous page. And so I glue everything on that line, and then I can add glue on whatever I feel it needs a little bit more. Or I leave them this way. I think I'm going to leave them this way because I love that it's all kind of folded. And it's a pocket, so I can add something there. Of course, I could add a little hat there. Maybe not this one. Hold on. Would it be cute, or it's too much? I think it's too much, but that could be kind of an option. I don't know. Here, there's another pocket, and I could create, oh, maybe a tab. Okay, so I'll get one of those, you know, those lace sample kit that I released a few weeks ago already. They're kind of the button cards. This one is just mixed up. And I think I'm gonna use this vintage one. If I add some ink and just decorate it, I'm gonna let it, I print it on both sides, so I'm gonna ink on both sides. Just lightly. And I'm gonna make sure that it hangs a little bit outside, and it's gonna act like a tab for opening the pocket. I could as well, fold it into two and kind of create a tab, but I don't like that the print is on this side. That would have been better kind of here if I do that. Oh, actually, I love that. All right, let's do that. I'm gonna fold into two, add a little bit of ink here, both sides, and place it like that. So this way, when you want to open this pocket, you have this to hold. Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to use my art glitter glue because it's going to be paper on paper. So I start by just adding glue on half of the side. Place it where I want it, making sure it looks aligned and everything. Then I can add more pressure. Add the remaining of the glue that I need to add. And here you go. This is how I glue my tabs, just to make sure they are aligned correctly and that I don't do a mess when I glue them. And I think I should add a little something here. A bow. Yes, a bow. A bow with the fancy yarns, because I don't want it to be too bulky. So I'm gonna grab one of the rolls that I have. I could pick a lot of choices. This one has the little mesh. I love that mesh. I have bundles of just a mesh. If you are a mesh lover like me, this tiny one. Okay, let's do a bow. I love when there's a long tail, so I can always cut them a little bit shorter if needed. Maybe something like that. Just gluing it here at the corner, on the corner, and letting all the yarns going down. I love to cut them different length as well. All right, I'm gonna use the fabric tag just because my hot glue is not turned on. And I'll let it dry. Look at that. And we still have the pocket here that we can fully open. Oops, fully open. That's it. All right, let's keep going on. I have this idea of using this tag that is meant to be like a price tag for laces, but I'm thinking maybe I can put a hat there or little boots. This one is too big. Little boots, and just put it there with a paper clip. Like you can put the brand if it's a vintage or antique shoes, boots, their price, and it's obviously by the unit, the year of confection. Yeah, that works. So it's those tags are meant to be for fabric or lace samples, but I guess we can kind of trick the system and use them for anything and everything. That's what I'm gonna do. And of course, I need to ink the tag as well. Both sides, because it's gonna be just holding with the paper clip. So I want to be able to add some journaling at the back. And I could just glue the little boots like that. But again, I think I'm going to use some cheesecloth or anything that is really, really light and thin, just to add a little layer. Geez, I'm going to cut a bit there. Just getting so long. Okay, so whatever, if I do something like this, what about something, just something like this? I love it. So I'm gonna start with just adding some random glue to kind of glue the cheesecloth, and then I'm gonna glue those little booties. It's easy to decorate the pages when you have very cute decoration elements, I find. All right, just giving it a good angle. Flatten everything, create folds, maybe here with that cheesecloth. Here you go, I just need a paper clip. I love those tiny paper clips. That's it, look at that. All right, so these were just quick ideas on how to use the fussy cut that I included with the kit and now that are available for your Cricut machine or fussy cut it for you. And I'll keep going on with more ideas on decorating this journal. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.